Good morning, children. So, we'll continue the chapter carbon and its compound. I think we have started about chemical properties of carbon compounds. Okay. So, I told the especially combustion. Okay. This carbon undergoes combustion reaction and produce carbon dioxide with evolution of heat and light. Okay. Most of the carbon compounds release a large amount of heat and light on burning. So this is the advantage we are using these carbon compounds as fuels. Okay. Now, so we will study about saturated hydrocarbons. Then what happens when they undergo combustion? Okay. Those saturated hydrocarbons will generally give a clean flame. Saturated hydrocarbons will give generally flame will be clean. Okay. And unsaturated hydrocarbons or unsaturated carbon compounds, you can tell. Unsaturated hydrocarbons or carbon compounds will have yellow flame with lots of black smoke. Lots of black smoke. I think you can just observe the burner or gas burner in your home. If the utensils are not black below the surface of them, then it is means the gas which you are using is saturated carbon. But usually we use butane gas. But if there is any little problem in your gas knobs or pipes and all, that they will produce yellow flame with lots of black smoke. That is why every 15 days we have to clean the gases and other parts of the stove also. Okay. So this results in a sooty deposit on the metal plate. So there is one activity in your textbook they are given. Okay. So take some hydrocarbons, carbon compound like naphthalene, okay, camphor. This you can perform in your home also. Alcohol and burn a little in the spatula. Generally in chemistry language we call spoon, but it is called spatula chemistry language. Okay. So put one spoon, take one spoon and just place a metal plate above the flame. Just when you burn it, you place a metal plate over the flame. Is there any deposition on the plate in case of any of the compounds? You check it. Okay. That's why if it is saturated compound, the flame is clean. If it is unsaturated, the flame is yellow flame with lots of black smoke. Okay. Means, however, you don't think every time our LPG gas is not clean. So there is one more reason that if there is some limited supply of air, if there is limited supply of air to these carbon compounds, that will result in incomplete combustion. They will undergo incomplete combustion. So incomplete combustion of hydrocarbons or carbon compounds leads to, and even saturated compounds also leads to formation of sooty flame. Sooty is black powder like sooty flame. Flame is formed. Okay. So the gas or kerosene stove used at home has inlets for air so that a sufficient oxygen-rich mixture is burnt to give a clean fume. Suppose if there is proper inlet in your home, the windows are opened and doors are opened when you are cooking, there will be no color formation or black smoke formation on the utensils. Okay, the utensil will not get blackened. It means that air holes are blocked and fuel is getting wasted. Sometimes what happens, if there is black smoke, it shows that air holes present in the stove. That gas stove is having blocked holes are there. So fuel such as coal, petroleum have some amounts of nitrogen sulfur. I told already. Fuel such as what? Coal, petroleum. They contain some elements like nitrogen and sulfur. So this nitrogen sulfur they mix with oxygen. I told already. They mix with oxygen and they form nitrogen dioxide. They mix with oxygen and form sulfur dioxide. Okay. So these both will mix with water vapor and form nitric acid. Okay. They will mix with water and form sulfuric acid. So this will increase the what? Pollutants. Air pollutants will increase in the air. Okay. That's why we are nowadays shifting to use the vehicles which are having, or generally we are using electric motors, electric vehicles also. Okay. And nowadays we are using even solar vehicles, solar run vehicles are also coming. Okay. So now we will try to know, I think it is page number 13 in our test. Why do substances burn with or without a flame? Why they should burn? Why there is a flame? Okay. I have observed either a coal or wood fire. Did you observe a coal or wood fire burning? Okay. If not, next time you get a chance, take close note of what happens when the wood or coal starts to burn. Just if you want, you can take small wooden plank or wooden piece or a coal piece and try to burn and check. Okay. So whether it will produce flame or not. Okay. I think you might have seen that LPG gas stove that burns with a flame. You might have seen. Okay. So however you observe that coal or charcoal in Angiti sometimes just glows red and gives out heat without flame. Okay. This is because flame is only produced when gaseous substance burn. This you remember. So there is no flame. When you burn this, there is no flame because flame is produced only when the gaseous substances are burned. Gaseous substances undergo combustion or burned. Okay. When wood or charcoal is ignited, what happens? When wood or charcoal is ignited, the volatile was present in vaporize and burn with a flame. When you take wood or charcoal, initially what happens? There is one substance called volatile. Volatile which will convert to easily vapor. Means easily vaporizing. Easily vaporize. Okay. Means whatever the vapors are present in this wood or charcoal, they will burn and afterwards burn the flame in the beginning. Initially they burn the flame, then afterwards it will become normal. Okay. So a luminous flame is seen when the atoms of gaseous substance are heated and starts to glow. This you know. Luminous flame. Okay, you can see the flame will be like this. Okay. And again it has color also. Flame also has different color which you studied in your 8th standard. Okay. 3 colors will be there. Okay. So this is due to the gases is present in the substance of the atoms. Okay. The color produced by each element is characteristic property of the element. If the color is yellow, blue or orange or black, they all color are produced due to the property of that particular substance or element present in that particular thing. Okay, so try and heat a copper wire in the flame of a gas stove. You just take copper wire and try to heat it, very small thin wire you take and heat it. Okay, so I've seen that incomplete combustion gives a soot flame which is carbon. So on the basis, what will you attribute the yellow color of the candle flame to? So why it is yellow, that just we have to find it. Okay, now we'll discuss some important points related to this particular concept. Okay, so these are little important information. Okay, first of all, you should know all combustion reactions are basically oxidation reaction, means which are carried in the presence of oxygen. Okay, means all combustion reactions are oxidation reactions. Oxidation reactions means they can undergo combustion in the presence of oxygen. It is not necessary that the reactants may burn during combustion. Okay, there is no condition that reactants should burn during combustion. There is no condition. Okay, so this is one point. Secondly, see, combustion of ethane, it is C2H4, sorry, C2H2. Okay, ethane, what? Combustion. When the ethane undergoes combustion, okay, plus oxygen. So this one is used in what? Gas welding. We call gas welding, no? There is a big tank like structure, from there they go for gas welding. That is called gas welding. Okay, so ethane is used in gas welding. Okay, then if the combustion of organic compound, if the combustion of any organic compound is properly controlled, if it is controlled in a proper manner, any organic compound, then it gives useful organic compound. I will give one example. Means if the combustion, if the combustion of an organic compound, if the organic compound's combustion or generally we can call hydrocarbons, if these are controlled, is properly controlled, so what will happen? It may give useful organic compound. It will give useful organic compound. I will give one example, you will understand. Okay, now, so when a mixture of methane and oxygen, if methane and oxygen, so this I told already, this is taken in 9:1 ratio. How much it is taken? It's taken the ratio 9:1. If they are controlled, so that's what I told you, if they are controlled, it may give useful substances. Under what? Under pressure and temperature. Proper pressure and temperature should be maintained there. Under 120 atmospheric pressure, and heat supplied should be 475 Kelvin. If we control the combustion of methane, then we will get useful product called methanol, C3OH. Okay, methanol. So this is one simple reaction. So like this, many other reactions are also possible. Okay, one more reaction I will show it. Then try. If the combustion of an organic compound, especially hydrocarbons, is properly controlled, we are controlling it, it may give us useful organic compound. It is useful organic compound industrially. Okay. So one or two examples still I will give. Okay, this is C3CS2OH. If ethyl alcohol, this is called ethanol or ethyl alcohol. Okay, when it undergoes combustion, when you supply one oxygen atom and what alkaline KMnO4, this we are using as a reducing agent. Okay, when you supply and you make the ethanol to react with oxygen, then we get CS3CO, acetic acid. This is acetic acid which is useful. This is acetic acid, it is vinegar. Acetic acid, you call it as vinegar. Okay, that's why if you control this burning of this ethanol in presence of alkaline KMnO4, then we will get one useful compound called acetic acid. Okay, so this is how. You don't think hydrocarbons are always they will burn and they will pollute the environment. Not like that. They are useful if they are controlled, and we are able to get as many of number of useful products from the combustion of hydrocarbons. Okay. Now, so we will try to find, actually you should know how this coal and petroleum were formed actually. You may be knowing, still we will discuss this. See, coal and petroleum have been formed from biomass which has been subjected to various biological and geological processes. Means this coal petroleum has taken many years, because most of the living organisms, when they are subject to biological and geological process, when they remain, see, when coal is the remains of trees, ferns and other plants that lived million years ago. Coal is nothing, it is the remains of, it is a remaining dead parts of the trees, ferns and other plants that lived million years ago. That converts into coal. How? These were crushed into the earth. How they were crushed? Perhaps by earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. They were pressed down by layers of earth and rocks. Okay. They slowly decayed into coal. See, directly when you take wood and keep in dig a pit and keep inside the earth crust, it will not convert into coal. It takes many years, because it has to undergo continuous pressure compression. Okay, so they were pressed down by layers of earth and rock. They slowly decayed into coal. So coal was found by decaying of many living things. Oil and gas are the remains of millions of tiny plants and animals that lived in the sea. So oil and gas. So these are found by the remains of tiny plants and animals that lived in the sea. So that lived in the sea. That's why this actually, when they died, their bodies sank to the seabed. When these plants and when they die, their body will go sink to the seabed and were covered with silt, mud layer, sand layer, all layers. Bacteria attack the dead remains. They will kill, bacteria will attack the dead remains, turning them into oil and gas under the high pressure they were being subjected. So these bacteria also there, they will attack them, and due to high pressure, meanwhile the silt was slowly compressed into rock. Silt become, what does silt become? Silt was slowly compressed into what? Rock. The oil and gas seeped into the porous part of the rock. So this oil and, see, suppose this is there is a rock. Okay. If this is a rock under a seabed, some quantity of oil and gas will mix, join, settle in the parts of the rocks and got trapped like water in the sponge. They get trapped like water in the sponge, like sponge only. They get trapped. Okay. So can you guess why coal and petroleum are called fossil fuels? Now you can tell why they are called fossil fuels. Because these are formed by the dead and decayed part of plants and animals. These are formed by the dead and decayed parts of plants and animals. Okay.